I have to say this. I'm happy with the latest patch. It solved a lot of my major bugs that I had, but I have only one other issue, which I've already posted to George, and Philgon
Hey
replied
guys,
about.
I'm here.
Hey, George, you
George!
made it. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
sorry man. I just saw Tiffany's tweet. I'm like, holy crap, it's Wednesday.
No worries. Thanks for making it. Awesome. All right.
How's
So,
everybody?
I
doing
can see
well, doing
George
well.
doing like 90, going, "Oh no, Cody gonna get mad."
Just hauling
Oh.
ass down the stairs. Oh my goodness. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. So let me just reposition the cameras here a little bit. Awesome. So how's Landmark Brew been going? So I didn't get to introduce you. George from Landmark Explorers is the host of the Morning Brew 5 days a week. Always checking out new builds. If you're working on a project, he's the guy to talk to because he'll get exposure to whatever you're working on. Really cool show, and I love what you do.
Thank you, man.
Yep. So what has the Morning Brew been up to lately?
Well, we're getting psyched and pumped for the big party on Friday.
Right on.
Bottom line, man, all day Fridays. This is going to be a jam fest at Landmark Games. So can't wait to see what it's going to turn into.
And is that going to be the 1 year anniversary?
Yeah, it's 1 year anniversary.
Yes. Yep.
Very
It's when
cool.
the
I
download
swear it
began,
is.
man. It's so.
It has gone by so
Can
fast
you believe it? 10 months.
that it is amazing, and I'm already pumped and ready for the next SOE Live, 2015 SOE Live.
What-
Sign up.
man.
Everybody sign up.
What month is that going to be in? By the
I,
way, do you guys know?
I'm assuming August
Well,
again.
yeah, it's, right. They haven't announced it, so
So
we're-
sales start in early June ish.
I'm so jealous that I didn't get to go last year, and because everyone I knew from Twitch and from Landmark was there, and I just to meet them, get to know them in person would be awesome, and that's why I'm definitely going this year. Hopefully, it'll be in Vegas because I'm all about that.
Honestly, I would
New
like.
Orleans, man.
Oh,
I
there you
want
go.
New Orleans.
Yes,
I
yes.
want New Orleans.
Better
Come on,
food.
Tony, you can do it.
I'm down with that. That's closer to
See,
me.
Many years ago, they did Orleans, and then they moved it over to Las Vegas because of the proximity. And I mean, they could pack everybody in a van or a bus and shoot everybody over there. But I really would love New Orleans.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It would be so great.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I wanted to first off just dig into the patch notes. We had, a bunch of new textures. We had the new emitters, which everyone was hunting for. The achievement system, which people have been waiting for. Let me just start with the achievement system. What have you guys first impressions? How did it read to you? Was it, did it help you? Was it useful as a training tool? And so on. Is it annoying not being able to get rid of those little menus?
There was some things.
Mine are all gone.
Oh,
I
You
have
just
no
have to
idea
click
what
the
I've
eye, the little eye icon,
Yes.
so you're
yes.
not watching them.
and then it's gone forever.
No, we'll come back if you
No.
relog.
It haunts you.
But it's not there forever, so it's not interfering with your building. Not too bad, in my opinion.
I like the journal. I like how it's set up already.
Yeah.
It doesn't count your points just yet, but it's already set up for the points. I'm looking at it right now, so and for the most part, the only issues that I had was one of the things that they asked for in one of them, and I'm sitting there looking through all of my crafting stations, and I was like, "Where the hell did I make that at?" But I already had it in my bag. Which was a claim flag,
Ah,
and then the little stone, where you teleport back and forth or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Um, the stone of recall, but I believe they give you the stone of recall. So I was looking around to make the darn thing, and I forgot that they just gave it to us.
I never got one. And I even click on that little chest, and still I have never gotten one. It's like some kind of permanent bug that I need to deal with.
It's Dave had it in for you. That's what it was.
they flag my account, like troll him.
He's got you on the blacklist.
That's what it is. That's what it must be. So yeah, but so
I blame everything on Dave. You know, so yeah.
who here has played Hearthstone? Because that is what that reminded me of. You know, when you get a new card in Hearthstone, it like flames up and it looks cool. Reminded me just of their achievement system, which I thought was kind of nice.
I love the graphics for them.
We need a Landmark card game.
Yeah, that would be
Saying.
cool.
I'm just saying.
Maybe a sub game, but not something
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
You know?
Trading card game, landmark stuff.
That'd be kind of cool. But
Right?
they
Maybe
did
the
an excellent
emitters
job.
could be in cards.
Yeah, they did an excellent job on the graphics for that
Oh.
section. I was like
Yeah.
really impressed with that. So definitely kudos to the art team for that. I'm always giving those guys kudos because they really do a phenomenal job.
Looks beautiful.
I want the picture of Devlin talking to the Chomper. I want that on a card.
Does he have a chomper friend?
Yeah, it's several.
Okay, nice.
Patrick.
Okay, that's his name. Nice. We were hunting some chompers today, looking for those emotes, and they got a little bit tougher. We were, solo down in the tier 5. I was having quite difficulty, but once we grouped up, it was quite easy. Have you guys noticed any difficulty increases or anything like that?
Yeah, we all die in unison.
And also,
Well, of course, the biggest issue is there's nothing up on the surface. Every once in a while, you might find a wisp, but that's supposed to be rectified in a hotfix.
Yeah, but I heard that was caused by the new plastics refinery.
I haven't even made any plastic. I haven't even messed with that refinery at all. I went straight into building today,
I
and
hear the plastic's expensive.
the issue I've been having is when you paste an item down without going into tweak mode. When you hold down control to move things around, it goes and then tries not to move.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I tweeted about that, and Felgon said they were already looking into that, so that's awesome.
I think it has something to do with now in tweak mode, when you turn something 90 degrees, it snaps. And I think it has something to do with that snapping motion, and that's where I think it's coming from. I could be mistaken.
I'm not. Hold on a second. Let me test this because I have not tested it since I tried the patch yet, or at least I hadn't paid it any mind. But paste in the volume and then the arrows.
So let me ask you guys, have any of you crafted the plastic yet? Or tried it out? Because I
still
haven't.
wanted to, but I didn't know how, and I gave up, and I went back to building.
Ooh, they
The
fixed my
infusers.
arrows.
Superior and legendary infusers.
They fixed the arrows.
No,
the
they
arrows are
didn't.
fixed.
No, 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 no.
Mine work.
Well, mine still shoot off to the.
No, well,
The
I'm
bits.
talking about like red goes with red, blue goes with blue instead of
Oh
blue
yeah,
goes with red.
that works. But the shooting
That
off still
got
happens.
fixed. I haven't had the shooting off problem, but that annoyed me more than anything in the world.
Yep.
Because when you put it down, you mirror it, you rotate it, and you mirror it again. A lot of times it would kick the red to the blue and the blue to the red, and then when you tried to move it, it would just do right the opposite of what you were trying to do when you rolled your mouse.
Okay, so anything else about the achievement system? They said it was the early phase, so I just want to let anybody out there know that there will be more advanced, higher tiers of the achievement system coming down the road. They said this is just for the entry-level people. They're trying to get them more familiar with the game and how it works and get them involved in that kind of stuff.
I think
yeah.
I think there's going to be more once they put in bosses. That'll give more things to do for the achievement system.
I would love bosses in Landmark. Although I asked Dave
We're not
G
getting
about
that. We're
them,
not getting it.
and he said
What I
no.
hear.
Yeah, Dave Georgeson said no, it's not on their roadmap. It's not on their list.
The only boss we get is him
Yeah, just Dave G.
and Tenma.
I want
Whatever
a boss,
form they
man.
take. Right? I want boss mobs too.
It could be like a claim high Tenma with just a big head and a little teeny tiny body, and I'd be happy.
Spits voxels at you.
And spits voxels at you.
Epic. We need bosses though. We need stuff to feel accomplishment. We need stuff to destroy out there in the world. So I'm all about that. I love the combat so far though. I like the way they're taking it. The PvE, doing the cave-in today, it felt a lot more challenging, a lot more fun, and I would like them to just keep ramping it up, make refinements. One thing I noticed was like the slogs. You know, you could just get above them and start shooting them, and they can't jump up to get to you. So we need, additional AI, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, we were experimenting, and it seemed like the slogs were following whoever had their inventory open. They would go.
Yeah, whoever doesn't move. That seems to be
"Get
the
that inventory
commonality.
open, prepare to get busy."
Right? Yeah, if you're not paying attention, they go after you. And we always see that happen. The cave sounding tool, that's a new item, which is kind of interesting because I feel like it's something they added to the game based off of players essentially exploiting the mesh to voxel
Yeah,
system.
have you guys made that thing yet?
I haven't. I think a couple people in the guild have made it. Said it's really useful.
The cave sounding tool. It gives
Oh,
you
yeah,
the
I
green
have
outline. You got one?
Yeah, it
Oh,
works.
Yeah.
I
So-
like it.
Yeah.
It works
No
good.
link drop from me. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
good.
Well,
It's
it
been
depends. It
short,
depends on your machine. I mean, if you got a lower
Yeah.
machine, you're going to be more adept to having issues.
Yeah.
Or the better card that you have, the less problems you're going to have. So.
Just, I guess the only tip: make sure you don't have any light source on you, because that will be visible way better.
Oh,
I got it.
What I experienced. Yeah, but it's nice. It makes you go through a lot faster, and yeah.
Now, can you use it with your gem seeker's brooch at the same
Yeah.
time, so
I
you can
think
kind of
so.
see everything? That's
I mean,
cool.
You could use the other two in unison with each other.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, yeah.
The cave sounder is pretty short though. It's like a few seconds and it's gone. You have to redo it.
Oh, so you got to keep clicking it. Is there a cooldown or anything like that?
No, well, not really. No.
Hmm.
Not that I've seen. There might be one.
Maybe maybe that'll be something in the future. We get longer, extended cave sounders. But I like that system. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little bit more straightforward than trying to rearrange the entire cave network to be
Yeah.
connected, right? So I like their solution, and also, in some senses, it kind of undermines cheaters, right? If you provide
No, it
items like
does.
that,
Well-
then they can't use wall hacks and map hacks
Right.
to have an advantage over the normal player.
Well, I mean, the way it was before is, well, I don't even know if I want to say how you did it, but you could actually get into the negative space
The
and
void.
fly around
The void,
into
yeah.
into the
Good, yeah,
void. And in that way, you could actually be able to find where the other locations were, and then just fly to it and drop into it. This basically does away with having to do that because you can see, okay, there it is, and draw your way to it. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to fix the whole negative space flying at some point in time.
Yeah, rockin' patch, man. Rockin' update, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. I
Psych.
loved it. All the bug fixes, I was really thrilled with that. I am all about bug fixes, man.
Devlin got his house back. He's not been able to place his house for
Oh.
weeks. Oh my god, he did the happy dance
Wow.
last night.
Oh, right. What about his bar? Is that still cooking?
Yeah, oh yeah, man.
The nightlife bar?
Yeah, the nightlife bar. Yeah. He's
Oh,
he's
awesome.
Cranking on that. I think they're gonna do some work on that tonight after your show.
Oh, very cool. Can't wait. So, with the new emitters, I'm sure they're going to have more effects and stuff going on in that place. So, that's cool.
I want those things, man. Did you see Zia was using the waterfall? in her
Oh,
build
I
early
love
this
him.
morning? Yeah.
Love them. One of our members at Nanovoxel found the waterfall. He was the first one, he said, to get the waterfall, and we immediately threw it up on the guild hall to make it fall over the edge, and then Awen with her Hobbit village started using them as kind of a river system. Really cool.
If anybody, okay, the other, what was it, Sunday, we went on a journey through Keynos,
Oh yeah, I saw that. tweet.
Quinos, however you wish to.
Kinos.
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 Keynos.
Sony EQ.
And because I have never played EQ2, and I wanted to see what the old Keynotes looked like. So I was like, let's go. Boom. And they took me in there and they gave me a big old tour of the whole entire place. And I'm sitting there screenshots. I've got a folder of nothing but Keynote stuff. And
You can't use any of it.
and one of the things when you inside a Keynote, there's this little fountain, and the bottom of it's filled with water, and then there's a little water, dripping off the top down to the bottom, and then at the top there is another set of water, and I was like, well, shoot, they could hook us up with something like that for a waterfall, and what it was like it just did like this. And in like an angle, and it was about like that wide, and I figured you could scale it or whatever, and then take some like those smoke emitters, put it at the bottom, make it look like mist coming off of it, and boom, you had your waterfall.
Yep.
And then they released this version of a waterfall, and I'm like, well, shoot, that thing's freaking massive, well,
It's a lot of water.
what if I just want a trickle coming out?
Yeah, right.
There's no trickle there. So,
Yeah.
But I do like it, but it has a heck of a lot of particle effects on the base and the top of it. So using it at a smaller size, I'm not sure if it would be quite as effective for something smaller.
Yep. I think, yeah,
Sorry.
wasn't Snapdragon today was mentioning, like a rapid system where it's just like splashing or something like that. What were your thoughts on it, Carly?
Well, I thought maybe a fade in and fade out option for emitter, so you could maybe make it less visible, or really visible.
Oh, so like for opacity meter.
Scale.
Sure.
Like
Hey,
that.
that's fantastic. First time I've heard that idea. I love it.
Because maybe sometimes you would want the flame, but not all the whatever. So you just tone it down so you can fit it inside a pillar or something and it doesn't flame out. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
I think that's a great idea.
levels of opacity. Yeah, opacity.
I did notice he was talking about a scaling, where it actually went like here to here.
Mhm.
I didn't fully grasp it all because I was at
Wow.
work at the
I was
time
just thinking about that.
for the props, and if they have something like that for like maybe slide bars, you have like a slide bar, you can like scale it up through the slide bar, and also have control opacity and all that on just a little window. When you right click it, the little window comes up, and you can adjust all of the fine details of each prop like that. That'd be kind of cool. It would be a lot of programming, but it would be
Wow.
cool.
Well, the two things I talked about yesterday on the show was being able to scale things on just one axis.
Right, I remember
And
that. They were kind of keeping a hush hush, but as a designer, I'm always concerned about stretching things, because once you start stretching textures and things of that nature, it can kind of fall apart. But with their static texture system, where things are continuous or infinite, if you will, patterns of textures, I could see that definitely working and being functional.
Yeah, Laloni made a good point there. They wanted something to stretch rope, and that is
Oh, yeah.
something. Yeah, George, do you remember SOE Live?
What
Oh
was that?
man, we
Who did
were
we
like
talk to? We talked to
Rosie.
somebody there.
Rosie, and we talked to Jeff.
Some
But Rosie was the main
nice
one
gal,
for
right? Yeah,
the
yeah.
rope, and it was very interesting, the conversation, and I'm like sketching it out on a piece of paper in front of Rosie, and George is over there like, yeah, that's what we need right there, It's hysterical, and but the way I kind of figured it is, if you've got inside of Radiant, which is another it's another engine basically, and they use it for Call of Duty. But basically, they gave you a tube, and you could take the end of the tube and you could stretch it out, pull it in, grab one little vertice of it, point it up into a little, form it up into like an oval if you wanted to on one side. It could be a small circle on the other end, and you can manipulate just that one stretch length of it. And it would be kind of cool if we had something like that in the game. And so I kind of presented that to Rosie, and
It sounds like that's where they're
Yeah.
taking it, possibly, with being able to stretch and manipulate these props in different ways. I was watching one of the Inside the Studio shows where they were building PlanetSide 2 maps, and the in-game environmental features that they had that capability of taking these props and just stretching them, slightly so they fit in properly to, for the right shape. If you want to create different bricks, maybe the rocks, I could see more organic shapes. I could see being very useful. So I'm interested to see, how that ties in with everything. Now, one thing that was kind of unexpected for me was the new character and environmental detail normals. So that's where they went through and they upped the texture quality, they upped the level of detail, and they did a really good job. It's very subtle. The layman might not be able to see it, but if you look closely, you're going to see a very high polished level of detail coming into Landmark. And
there was a tweet by Fugazi of his Kinos Tower. It's this white tower with a dark brown top. When I first saw that, I thought it was a picture, from the real world of something as a reference. Wow, it was a double take. I didn't realize it was inside Landmark. So that line, that line between real and Landmark is starting to blur a little bit.
Absolutely.
For me, it's exciting.
Now,
Well,
here's the
now,
question.
if you've ever been to that build is massive in scale. So you're, when you're working with something that, from a distance looks high detail, but when you get up to it, it's actually like bigger than my body. That's, pretty awesome because you can get farther away and it looks more detail driven.
Now, here's the question. Why did they choose this huge crotch shot for the detail picture? Okay. I just, that's their picture. It's not cropped. That's it. That's it as is. Just so you know. That was my only question about that.
I'm not sure if it's a huge crotch shot.
Well, I'm just saying. That is true, Temba. That is true.
Where's Dyfin in his Pantera?
Sorry, I can't help myself. They leave it open for me, guys.
Now we need better character scaling, model scaling and all that. We do have huge characters coming in, which things. There's a couple things that have recently gotten pushed back. They were talking about having the merchants. They were talking about some of the scaling. It seems like they're a little bit continuously behind on these features, and I'm hoping that with the EverQuest Next coming up and all the different stuff, that we don't end up keep continuing falling behind where we're never gonna catch up. Are there any features for you guys that you're a little bit disappointed that they haven't quite made it to the game yet, even though they've been on the list several times? Or
Well, I was gonna say beer dispensers, but
Beer
that's not
dispensers.
been on the list.
Mine has been on the list and was removed
Okay.
a long time ago.
Dynamic
It was
water.
like shortly after Alpha. I'd say like 2 or 3 weeks after Alpha. Actually, at the end of Alpha, it was on the list, and 2 or 3 weeks after Alpha, when it went into beta, they took it off the list. And it was like, it doesn't exist, guys. You don't know anything about it. And which was the group claims, and they took group claims off of the stuff, and I'm like, man. And yes, Pantera, they still haven't told us about the Karen Island yet.
Right. Yeah. What and
Karen Island.
and what about the yogurt
Right.
competition? When are we
Keep
going to
on
hear
'em,
about that?
guys. Keep on them. Don't let them get away with that. I want my
Yeah.
Karen Island. I want to see it.
That's
I
right.
wanna see it too.
And I'm curious, anybody out in chat, if you guys have any stuff that you really want to see that was, slated to already be in the game and you're a little bit disappointed, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And feel free to tweet me at Twitter down below. You can click on that Twitter button. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following the channel because we do have a weekly show right after Landmark Live. Now, Landmark Live shifted. I want to talk a little bit about that right now. It was Tuesday at 2 o'clock, right? So that was kind of, I didn't have a lot of information about that. I think a lot of the community was a little bit taken aback by the schedule change, a little bit confused, if you will. What are you guys' thoughts on this change? Is that do any of you have any information? George?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love the change. It means all these people that watch our show in the mornings from Europe and all over the world are going to get to watch Landmark Live. I think it's a great decision. It seemed, a short lead time, but
it kind of killed me.
Oh.
Because when I got off work, I'd be like, oh yeah, Landmark Live's coming on in an hour. And then all of a sudden, I'm like,
had to watch the rerun.
yeah, I had to watch the rerun, so I couldn't be there.
Oh.
Just because it's work time for me during that time. So
Well, Cody, I've got something from that they talked about during the alpha that I was hoping we'd see by now, but clearly it's not going to happen until open beta. And that is remember they talked about the 20 square mile islands? Currently we've got like 2 square miles.
I don't remember that, but wow, that is
wow,
huge.
Yeah, they talked about much larger islands, but that's
instead of larger islands, I like to see smaller islands out on the outskirts of our current location. If you remember in the very beginning, it was a huge square and there was no water. Now inside of that square space, if we have like an island on each one of the corners or something to be able to better utilize that world space, it would give like a mini island to somebody or something if they wanted to have one. Could be off the coast or something like that, and you can, I don't know, better utilize that square area.
Oh, hey, Bob Dobb just mentioned something. Tinma, when we were talking to Darren McPherson, you remember the discussion about claim versus claim siege warfare?
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh man, we mentioned that and his eyes just lit up. You could see him salivating. They so have to make that happen.
We got a member. We got a member in Colossus that he makes siege engines. That's what he
saw
makes.
that.
Stardak,
Oh my-
yeah.
Cody,
Stardak.
Cody
Oh my-
took us over there. Oh my god.
I mean, trebuchets and catapults and some of those like vertical multi-tiered towers.
Yeah,
that they
siege
roll up
towers.
to. I'm like, man, dude.
He's ready to go to war.
Yeah.
He made a flame tank just to attack like hobbit holes that were being built next door.
Then you got guys like Bob Dobb and with the tanks and all.
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
those are amazing. Those are
Yeah.
really amazing.
Freaking
Cricket and his
Bloodsville
giant
there.
ships. Can you see that battle going on in Angel Bay? That would
Yep.
be fun.
I can't wait for that kind of stuff. So, what I'm most excited, or Shimmy, was there anything on the list that that got taken off that you're really kind of disappointed about?
No, but I guess I was just kind of weirded out by the sci-fi textures. I
Did-
don't know. I just expected brickwork and wood for Kinos because they kicked that
Well,
off.
And that's what we're asking for,
Yeah.
right?
We have.
It was weird.
Well, those are coming, but at the same time, the sci-fi community has really, really been asking for more stuff for quite some time, and especially textures. Yes, we have textures, but they're all kind of geared towards, the fantasy and what we've been building anyway. But we do have one hell of a huge sci-fi community as well,
That's-
and so they wanted to say, hey, we haven't forgotten you. And I think
that is
that's
good.
pretty much what that was basically we have not forgotten you, and here's some textures. Hang on, we're coming back with some more for you. And at the same time, I'm pretty sure we'll be getting more brick textures and stuff like that because we need new stuff for Keynote.
Keynote, absolutely.
So, and that's got to come pretty soon
I hope
because
so.
if we don't have them before we start doing the major build or start the actual competition part of it,
Yeah.
then they'll lose out on already having stuff painted for them.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I'm kind of painting my
So-
thing now, and I'm like, this is not right. This is not. I don't know. rather just have it white until they release some textures.
Yep. Some some additional maybe painted wood, some more stucco, more yeah.
Gray.
There is one thing that I forgot. If y'all have noticed the copper chains, is anybody or the iron chains? Have y'all noticed those yet? Yeah, they're rusty.
Oh, they added rust to them.
They have changed slightly.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but it is for me. It was noticeable because I put them SOBs in last night, and then I came in today, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool."
All right.
Maybe it was there all along.
Are you building a bridge, Tim? No. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
I saw it.
Oh, Shivy saw it. She knows.
She's seen it.
Okay.
Her and like two others are like the only ones that have seen it. Her Katina.
Yeah.
Also Night Owl. So
Oh, Night Owl.
so those are the only three people who have actually really seen it so far. And it's one of those things that will probably end up getting trashed and rebuilt as the workshop goes along.
That's
Yep.
how it goes.
Yep. Iteration. So.
I don't want to do what I did last time because I mean I was all into it and I had to tear it down, rebuild it, and then by the time it was all over, it was exactly how they said that they wanted. And that particular one of the two builds that I did, the one I put most of my time into, it didn't even get chosen. So I was like, you know what?
But that's
I'm gonna step back and
Right.
then I'm gonna let the stuff come in, and then I'll build
Yeah.
to what they want then.
But at the same time, that is your process work, right? So it took, maybe it wasn't directly represented, but it took that process to get to the final stage of where you were. That's how I saw it.
Still, it was, I put more time into it than I did anything else, and I don't know, I kind of got my feelings hurt.
Are they still gonna give any feedback on the winners of the open competition? Because I feel
I-
like
I was
they totally
expecting,
left that.
I was expecting that they would have done Landmark Live, but or the workshop show, and neither one of them have said anything about it, so I don't know.
I would really like them to do that, just to
Yep.
instead of saying, okay, you're a winner, this is why you're a winner.
Or this is maybe not why you didn't make it, because some people did put a lot of effort into it.
There
Yeah.
were a lot of builds too, so
Oh, yeah.
just to actually go through them and nitpick all over each one, I could see Rosie going for days
Yeah,
on that.
And speaking of Rosie, she recently went through the forums and critiqued some of the blueprint, or not blueprint, but some of the Keynote workshop submissions. And I thought she did a very poignant, she had very poignant comments, which is very good, straight to the point. And I thought that was nice. There's some inconsistencies, or at least that's how some builders felt about some of the comments. But overall, I thought she did a really good job of showing what's working, what's not. I was a little disappointed that my build didn't get critiqued, but all the same, it's I think they choose what examples of things that they particularly want to get across to us as far as the style guide
Well,
goes.
they said that they were going to cut back on the amount of builds that they were going to be going over on the workshop show to be able to focus more on what it is that they do want, instead of going through and critiquing all of the builds like they have been doing before. I can understand that. You got an hour,
Yeah.
and it, if your build didn't get on the workshop show, don't worry about it. Maybe the next time when you get yours up to the par, or has something that they really want to focus on for the workshop for others to learn from you. That's basically how this is going to go. Don't get butthurt. It's not like Rosie came to your house and like punched you in certain areas of your body.
Oh!
So
It feels like that sometimes, though.
yeah, it does.
Aw.
feel
When you
like
put a lot of time and effort into stuff, it does feel like we need to get a little bit more communication. I feel like that's the entire community feels like that. We need a little bit more reciprocation because the people in this community are extraordinary and unlike any other game community out there, and they give so much that just to have a little bit of accreditation with all the time and effort they put in, I think would help the game community as a whole and keep continuing this awesome development of different artists and people in the community, because that's what Nanovoxel is all about. Bringing in people of different skill sets. We have programmers and artists and all types of different people coming together to just build stuff, and that's, I think, as Landmark, we all agree, is a new medium for art, a new 3D creation tool, and I hope that they recognize how important it is that they keep their community happy. So real quick, I just want to bang through some of these emotes, or these new emitters. I got the new, some of them have sounds, which is kind of cool. I would like it if we had independent sounds, because honestly, some of the sound effects can be kind of annoying. But I'm curious, what have you guys gotten? I think a couple of you mentioned the waterfall. We have the new large steam mode emitter, rules object mode emitter. A lot of these seem to be previous particle effects, like some were from the hub, and I noticed one was from the obelisk emitter. So
Oh yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
that one's great. It's gonna be heavily used.
yep, definitely really cool points of interest, things that could be utilized for, say, ruin builds and stuff like that. Just like, interesting discoveries, things of that nature. The marketplace, they added some new bundles, Lumicite, Solucite, and an emitter bundle. But I will warn you guys, Awen recently purchased the emitter set, and it didn't contain any of the new ones. I think she purchased, like, it was a water emitter set, but it didn't have, I think it had it might have had one water, no, it didn't have any waterfall, didn't have any of the new emitters. So if you're specifically trying to buy a waterfall emitter, you can't get it through the marketplace yet, so just be aware of that. We had a whole bunch of new bug fixes. The alchemy station has a new look. That thing looks freaking sick. Have you guys seen that at the Spire? I can't wait to use that in some sci-fi stuff.
Plastics refinery.
Is that what it's
So,
called
so
now?
I'm just saying, we got plastic, but we don't have oil.
We don't have oil yet. Oh man, what an awesome material type. Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
A black liquid.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly, I think we need, we only have one color of water right now. We need puke. We need snot. We need oil.
Or
we need
and a clear water. We need a
some-
clear water too.
some dirty, rotten sewer water type looking stuff.
Something that looks like Alka-Seltzer.
We
Yeah,
do,
with little bubbles, yeah.
bubbly water. Yeah, that would be nice. And that
For
would be,
spring.
That would work in conjunction with regular water into fish tanks.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I
A
like that.
Vegas themed water pack. Tiffany for the win. Yeah.
Nice.
That is awesome. With
Vegas
links and
themed
triggers.
water pack. That would be snot. Don't drink the water, guys. Don't drink the water. You
So-
don't know where it came from.
But that would be cool, waving water, in front of the Bellagio, something linking and triggering system. I would love that. Love to see something like that. So one thing that was talked about on Twitter a little bit, but they kind of backpedaled it on the Landmark Live show, was the one claim submission for the contest. They were talking about reducing the number of submissions down to one. Currently it's 3. And also reducing the size of the submission down to 1 claim. It was just thrown around on Twitter by Dave Georgeson, and then Jeff Butler said on the Landmark Live show that, that might not necessarily be the case. So any thoughts on that? Do you think it's a good thing to reduce the total number of submissions, to reduce some of the workload on their end? Or do you think, maybe it's going to actually impede the artistic design process? Because I know a lot of builders out there have, one build that might not fit directly in the style guide, might be a little out there, and they're not sure it would win. And maybe that, could potentially be the next huge, awesome structure in Landmark and wouldn't get in because they want to play it safe. Temma.
you might want to save me for last.
I'll
All
go. I'll go.
right, George.
Because I'm about to
I
explode.
like the fact that they're outright asking for smaller pieces. I think this will make it easier for the developers to take all these bits and pieces we're creating, game assets that we're making, and place them and merge them together and meld them to build this city of Kinos. It's going to be a new imagining of Kinos as we've never seen before, and I think that will make the whole project go faster for them. But no reason why they shouldn't also be able to get some very large submissions. But I think the little pieces make it a little more flexible.
Carly, what do you think? And they also mentioned, wanting to incorporate a modular system, and I've noticed a lot of builders on Twitter have been focusing on that as well.
Well, I actually don't mind it so much. I think they want us to focus more, let's say, on one claim and let's focus more on the details and refine it instead of having this huge claim where if you look at it in 10 minutes, you still haven't seen everything, And yeah, because I think they want high quality, and I can see that, but it does take away a bit. It's restrictions, and I don't like restrictions. But I think
All right.
Tenma has something to say.
Okay, what do you got, Tema? What do you got?
All right.
He's
Let's put it this way.
You got a hookah there, my friend.
Oh,
It's a grenade.
Oh, that's cool.
I had to calm down. Sorry. It makes me want to explode.
Why do you have a
guys.
grenade in your house?
It looks like a grenade. Okay, but honestly, this whole subject kind of makes me mad. Honestly, if you as a person want to build on a single claim, nothing has ever stopped you. But to limit everything to a claim is bullpoop.
but they're not doing that though. You're submitting one, but they look at the whole build.
I'm just saying. I mean, you look at and you talking about refining the details and keeping it to a single claim. Tell Fugazi that. Tell Ansgar. Tell Anzul. Tell those guys who build on scales of 6 claims and 9 claims and tell me that that the detail work isn't there. It is there.
Oh, it is definitely.
And to say only a single, submit only a single claim. If I'm only submitting a single claim, then I'm still tying up every single one of my claims that I have, even though I only submitted one.
Right.
And now I'm out of commission. I have nothing else I could do either way. I still like the template system. Yeah, okay, the textures are going to get thrown off a little bit. Whoop-de-poo, It's all about placement. You figure out exactly how high and how low by actually placing it. You may have to paste it 3 or 4 times to get it exactly where you need it. But that's fine. I'm all happy and good with that. I still think the template system was the best way of going because I could template the whole entire thing and submit it all at once. It's all together, and my claims are not tied up.
Right.
The way they had done it with where, we're leave it on your claim. That way it's exactly the way you had it when you made it. Well, when you take it as a template and go to put it on an island or put it into the world somewhere, you're still going to end up messing it up one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
It's not changed anything. And submit it as a template. Just, if take more pictures. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a good side and a bad side about it. But I think it's doable. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, single claims. If you want to do it down to a single claim, then you're not going to get the bigger builds anymore. I just don't. I think it would impede.
Modular. If you want to
It
build
would
a
impede
tower, then you got to build 3 different sections in one claim, maybe. Like
Yeah, and-
the bottom, the middle piece, and the top, instead of the whole tower.
and not everybody else is like me who has like 3 accounts, and that's the only way I can build
True, true.
when competition time comes around now, is I have to build on my other accounts claims. But I just don't like the idea. I'd rather go back to the template system.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yep, I think going back to the template system might work. I kind of like having my build being in a static location with the textures, because it lets me do some more interesting deletion with the brickwork and trim and things of that nature. But I can see, both sides of that coin. I feel like the size, I agree with Timma, don't restrict the size, because there's some builders like Fugazi and Bride and Ansel who, just wouldn't be able to build those amazing creations at a one claim size scale. So real quick, I wanted to shoot through some of the bugs that I've been talking to the community about. And if you guys want to chime in as I go through these, if these bugs have personally been impacting you, let me know. And also, if you have any other bugs that you want to add to this list, anyone out in chat, please feel free to add bugs. I think Crane's there. She'll take a look, just put a question in front of there. And I see Bob Dobb recently tweeted me a picture of one of his new emitters. I just retweeted that. Let me post a link real quick. That's a pretty cool one for sci-fi. It's kind of like a jellyfish look to it. But thanks for tweeting that to me, Bob Dobb. And by the way, I'm over at Nanovoxel. Just check out that tweet and retweet for me if you don't mind. So real quick, the tweak arrows, select tool, still zooms off your screen. We were talking a little bit about that in the pre-show. Still an issue for some of you guys. And also, as Temma alluded to, it's been popping. It sticks in certain
goes back.
locations. Very annoying. Exactly, just like that. We had the texture bug where the textures have been going fuzzy. This is a pretty new bug, and it's very annoying, very frustrating, especially when you can't really control it in any clear way. So hopefully they're addressing that issue. I think, a big, talking to the community, a big issue for them has been communication. We talked a little bit about that earlier, particularly about solving some of these bugs and issues. The community's a little bit, feels like they're left in the dark a lot of times, and they're not getting the straight up, information that they need to make educated decisions on, how they want to move forward with Landmark, and particularly with their build. Maybe some people have certain goal sets in mind that, that could be heavily influenced by getting the real correct information immediately. So I think that's what the community is looking for, just straight answers, particularly about these systems that haven't been implemented into the game yet. Where are we with all these systems? Are we on track? Are we still going to see these things that were on the roadmap and blueprint in the past, or have they got completely wiped out? So that's a big concern for a lot of people. Another concern are the building tools. There's been an issue where you have to click several times when selecting a specific building tool. Have you guys ran into that issue when selecting a building tool, having to click multiple times, Timma? I know you've been doing a lot of building on the Kinos build.
Well, I mean, Dave's always picked on me about not using hotkeys for everything, and I'm old school. I like clicking on the
I
screen
click too.
on my stuff. But Dave has picked on me in the past on Landmark Live, granted, and
But you're a great target. Come on.
yeah, about not using my hotkeys. And if I'm sitting here, with my mouse, that's my tool. I can be like, I don't know, like picking my ear or something with my other hand, and that's what I use, and that's what I use to click all of my tools and stuff. But yeah, sometimes you'll click like a selection tool, and it still stays on the regular tool you had before.
Yeah.
You have it sometimes when you're in the texture selection.
Oh, I have that a lot when I click
Where-
and it's like it didn't change, and I have to get it
Yeah,
again. Like,
yeah,
or
and-
again. Yeah.
And that was the other thing that I can definitely tell you. It does do it on it, as well as the tools. So
And
Right.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the changes they made to fix the tooltip issue, where they added the
fixed
delay.
tooltip.
You still having issues with the tooltips?
That stupid pop up still sits
Oh.
up there on my screen. I have to take boots off.
The
You know,
boots. Oh, so annoying.
Okay, so the tooltip still having issues with that.
If you come
I
close,
think it was
pops up.
fixed. I think it was fixed, and then a fix.
Unfixed.
Unfixed.
It was featured and then unfeatured, and now it's featured again.
It could possibly be a rollback where they went back to a previous patch, and in the process they removed that particular update and then rebuild it or something. It could be a possibility. The reason why some of this stuff is reoccurring.
Thousand Stars says, I still hate the scroll through windows bugs where you try to scroll down a window and end up scrolling out your view as well, like the character view. So that's like an overlapping key issue, which I've been having issues with that. I think the escape key is a big one as well. When you escape out of a tool, it brings up your menu.
Yeah.
When I hit enter, and when I hit enter, my text box highlights like I'm in it
Like you're,
Dude.
okay, yeah.
to be able to type to somebody. And as soon as I start typing, all my windows open because I'm hitting
Oh.
M. I'm hitting.
Oh my God. Yeah, the damage I've done with that.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Sucks.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting all them
What Shimmy
keys
said.
for all them little pop-ups, and then and I don't notice it. I do not even notice all these windows popping up because I'm looking at the keyboard. Because yes, I do that. Okay. And I don't
Guilty.
notice it until I hit M, because then the whole screen goes
The map.
like this, and then I'm like. And then I look up, and then I close map, and then all my windows are still open, and I'm like, seriously, click, 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 click,
Oh.
click.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that if you go into map view, well, you have like a selection in place or whatever. It's gone when you get out of map view. That's really
Also,
annoying.
so it cancels your selection.
Or the pasted volume, you wanna paste that's on your clipboard, or yeah, like you have to redo it.
Now that's
That's really
something.
annoying.
Yeah. Speaking of clipboards, they recently mentioned that you can
yeah.
now take your clipboard and move it over to other islands and even servers.
Servers.
Where in the
Yeah.
past, what used to happen in the past? It used to just not work
Disappear.
on your island, or off your island. It wouldn't work.
If you would switch islands, or I mean switch servers particularly, you would lose your copied thing.
Collins is. I want to say what Collins just said. I would just like an answer if they have moved the EU servers to the US. Everything is pointing to it. US players getting the same ping as the US servers now, and us EU residents getting the same ping as the US servers. But despite tweets today, questions on the live stream, and forum threads, we can't get an answer on it and why it's happened.
That's an
Well,
interesting
it's up to
question.
the EU.
I thought the EU had servers in Amsterdam.
That's what
No,
I
in
thought
Germany.
too.
So, or in Amsterdam,
Right.
one of the
I've seen
Yeah, is
this
it-
question batted around a lot in the mornings.
If anybody knows an answer to that, please say so, please. I could swear we had servers in Amsterdam because I know H1Z1 has them in Amsterdam as well.
Maybe they took them over.
Yeah, because they remember y'all missed all that with H1Z1. It was mustard.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Tiffany, thank
Um,
you. Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Right on. There it
Okay,
is.
servers are still in EU.
Maybe
Direct
it's
answer
deleted.
from our community
So-
manager. Awesome.
But yeah, they had to They had to get the servers up over in Amsterdam for H1Z1, and when they first bring up the servers, there were no EU servers, and then they had to clone them over to the EU servers to get those servers up. So, trust me.
Maybe it's some kind of connection where it has to transfer
Login-
data.
like a login.
Yeah,
server.
right. A
Maybe
different
login.
servers that has to talk, and then there's
There's-
that delay. You know.
But there's two gateways. One's a EU gateway and a US
Oh, look.
gateway. And the gateway is what basically says, okay, you belong here, you belong here. So when they go to log in, whatever server they've selected first, when they go through the login process,
yeah.
it should point towards the gateway for the EU server. So
Well,
I don't know.
did notice that. I mean, I play from EU, so when I'm on the EU server, my ping's good, something like 17 even. And but I play on confidence, which is NA, so it's usually like 150, 170. But if I go from EU to NA and I go back, my ping stays 170. So it's like rerouting me through the NA or something back to EU instead of, oh, you're from the EU, so we'll change it back.
Very interesting. So you think
We-
maybe
like the
going
remote.
from server to server is causing that issue, where you're almost routing through the U.S. server? Interesting.
Right. Because I
Well,
have to
if
start up
when-
my game again to have normal ping.
Yeah, that could possibly be it, because if you log in on a EU server, it's routing you to Amsterdam from here to the United States.
Exactly.
It could be right there reverse for them. If they log in to say Courage, and then
Yeah.
they switch servers over to an EU server, it's still probably routing originally through the US to get them.
So it needs, like, if
Yeah.
you're in U.S. going to EU, maybe it needs like a disconnection function.
Yeah, and that's why
And then
our ping
put you in.
goes outrageous when we
Yeah.
go to EU servers.
Right.
Because
Right.
then it's like double. Yeah. Oh.
I'm right here in Virginia, right next to the trunk that goes to overseas, and our ping to my
Lucky
ping.
poop head.
No, but my ping to the EU servers is just as bad as my ping to San Diego. It's if I could just get through all that NSA traffic, I'd be good.
The cyber war is going on. That's why our internet doesn't work, right?
Killing me, man.
Oh Lord.
Kim Jong Un, why you do this? We're just trying to play Landmark.
And Amnera said though they're aware of it and they're sorry. So.
Okay, so yeah, there are. That's good. It's on their radar, Kylan.
good.
And Kylans, thank you so much. He
Yeah.
dropped off. I was on my Saturday stream building for Kinos, and I'm like, the 1-1 stairs at 45, those are kind of boring. They're just too easy to spot. But the 2-1s were just too long. I'm like, if I had a 1.5 stairway, that would be perfect.
Offsets.
About a half an hour later, Kylan drops off a 1.5 stair increase. It's a 1.5 to 1. Looks beautiful. And
Wow.
he used offsets to make it really great work.
Yeah. You could
Speaking
do
of
a,
cool stuff, did you see Lady Kathleen's Kinos build where she's got the roof tiles and turned it at 45 degrees? These are voxel, individual voxel, roof offset voxels.
Oh, wow.
Turn it 45
Oh.
degrees. It is beautiful. That's the first time I've seen it in the game.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
her style really, I think, will work well in the Kinos because she builds mostly with stone, and Kinos is a stone city. And she usually has newer looking buildings, and that's another key feature of Kinos. It's like 10, 20 years old. So,
Yeah, check it out in the gallery, everybody. It's amazing.
And I would advise y'all, if you haven't been to Lady K's British Museum, which is the tool swap, I believe, definitely go there. She's got a lot of stuff that can be used. I think she had another location for other. It's like, trust me, they're all together. Just look for the big buildings. There's a lot of stuff there.
and we have an F for Felgon because he's in chat. So awesome to see you. Yes, I'm the only guy that wears sunglasses at night. So just to get back to some of the bugs, good thing Felgon's here because he's in charge of keeping these bugs out of the game. So if you need someone to tweet, to unleash your rage on, tweet at FelgonSOE, and I'm sure he'd be happy to listen to you. Another issue is items that you put down on someone else's claim. Props that you put down on someone else's claim. If someone else tries to pick him up, it disappears and goes into the claim owner's inventory. So if you're doing group building and things like that, you can get very quickly frustrated by losing all your props. I know that we've had that issue over on the Hobbit claim and on some of our Nanovoxel Go claims. So if you guys can look into that, would be a huge thing for a lot of us group builders. So chests are currently not evenly distributed among the caves. Some caves are completely barren, while some have chests all over. I hope you guys can look into that. It's got to be something with the spawning system that's in place. I'm not really sure how any of that works. But the Vile Bloom, which is one of the plants in the caves, also extremely rare. Tier 1 plants appearing in the Tier 5 areas. And just generally, many of the cave plants are too difficult to find. I'm not sure if any of these have been addressed, because these were some earlier concerns from last week. Concerned about the rarity of materials in general. A lot of the explorers are finding it hard to get all the materials. It could be that they're used to being able to just get everything on the surface, but they do think it's just a little bit too difficult to find all the stuff they need to craft all the stations and all that kind of thing. Teleport loop. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but if you go into a teleport and there's a little lag delay, you go right back through it, and then it's an endless cycle until you crash. I don't know if they've talked about it yet. We mentioned maybe putting in a 10-second delay into the teleport system to prevent that. But what we did at our guild hall was we just turned the exit upside down. So it just kind of spits you out, and then that kind of alleviated the problem.
Great idea. Like that.
But, yeah.
I'm still adamant about having just a zone-in pad that you can put anywhere you want
That's
to.
a great idea. Really. I hope you guys can.
Yeah.
I hope that makes its way into the game.
That's a huge one.
Brilliant.
That's a
It
huge
would
one.
be brilliant.
And
In fact,
yeah.
that's among my favorite
You-
ideas I hear batted around.
Once you place down your primary claim, you get one of those zone-in pads, and basically you could put it anywhere you want to on the claim. You could put it on top somewhere. You could put it round along the outside, or have it right at your front gate. And no matter what claim they teleport to, you go to that one location, and it could be a locking point to be able for the loading. So,
Yep, I love that idea. And even to face it in the orientation that you desire would be huge.
Hey, did you hear them talk about maybe a possible privacy mode where people can't teleport to you?
No, I haven't heard about that.
They mentioned that
Oh.
briefly during the show. I think that would be brilliant. That picked up a lot of traction on our show this morning, and
all it's gonna do is make me mad, because if I can't port to you, I'm gonna run there and then I'm gonna bitch you out.
Oh, and that's coming from Mr. Secret,
I'm gonna run there.
who's hiding his
Run
build.
I'm gonna run my butt across the alley. I'm gonna find you.
Just make a secret alt character like everybody else. I don't see that as a needed system or feature, but interesting all the same.
I can't tell you how
yeah.
many times I've ported the tin when he's been on the pot. So
It's true. It's true. It's true. Like, why is he just standing there?
We have the 1-year anniversary this week. That's in 2 days. That's gonna be cool. What I had it written down somewhere, but I seem to.
I think Tiffany
Here we go.
had some
Ja-
spots open. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's still got them open, but they're looking for some streamers to host during the day from Landmark Game. So if folks,
Ooh.
send her a message any way you can, either direct on Twitter or Twitch, or if you got an email address. If you're streaming and you can hit the middle of the afternoon for Sony time, I think they need some more streamers. I don't know
Awesome.
if she's got them all filled. Oh, there she is. There she is.
Yeah, I'll be
Tiffany's
there.
still here.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Yeah, let
I'll
us.
be-
I'm down to stream. Tim, are
Yeah,
you?
me too.
Shimmy's
I'll
up
be
for it.
I've already
Two spots open.
signed
There
up.
you go, guys. Right there.
I've already
Chat, take a
signed
look.
up. I've already signed up. I'll be doing the 4 to 5, which is right after their show. And then so whoever's got the other two, or the other 3, I have no clue.
Awesome. So keep an eye open, and that's January 30th. That's the Landmark 1 year anniversary at the Last Wish Lounge on Serenity Beach. So that should be a lot of fun. And who made that?
Void Lust?
Void Lust, and he,
Oh.
yeah,
He's
awesome
back.
builder.
Oh,
Void Lust is back
he's
and
awesome, man.
ready to build
Love
because
love his builds.
yeah, he went.
What did he do? I missed something. I'm sorry, I was zoning.
He built the Last Wish Lounge. I found
Oh
his.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and he's had a lot of winning competition submissions in the past. One of the great Landmarkians out there. So, all right, guys, we're running out of time. I think we've covered everything. Anything you guys wanted to talk about the update? I think we covered the bugs, the emitters, the new textures. Any other new things that you guys want to talk about? Let me know out there in chat. You can always tweet to me, and I'll definitely bring it up in the next workshop where we usually, like today, have developers or community managers listening directly to you guys. And okay, so our community managers heading out. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate that. Timma, what do you got going on this week? Are you going to be doing any tutorials, anything like that?
Well, Friday, right after the 1 year anniversary show, I'll be streaming, and SO will be hosting it. That's for Friday, and I'm actually, y'all don't tell my work, but I'm getting off early that day, so I can do that.
Nice.
So,
Alright, way to go.
and it's kind of funny because one of my workmates probably is in chat, and I'll kill you if you tell me.
Dude, you're so
And then on Sunday, most likely Sunday, I'll be deep in tutorial mode, and then on Monday I'll be doing streaming, and I'm hoping to start doing some more streaming during the week again, starting next week.
excellent, dude.
Awesome. George, what do you got going on this week?
Wow, man. So tomorrow we've got obviously the Morning Brew and Landmark Nightlife, but Friday we got a special Morning Brew and a special Landmark Nightlife. They'll be hosted over on Landmark Game. Normal times for our shows, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be hitting the Void Lust stuff, and we're gonna be searching through and looking for stuff that was there from the beginning of the alpha that has been placed back into the world. So tune in.
Very cool.
Friday, 10
Don't make
o'clock.
me dig. Do not
Yes,
make me
dig. Everybody,
man.
if you have time and you got something that you built in alpha and you got a spot to put it down, tag it in the claims. Put alpha in the tag, and
I like it.
We'll come see it.
Retro
Friday morning on
landmark
Morning Brew.
builds. I love it. That sounds awesome. And right after this show, I think the Landmark Nightlife is going to be starting up. So we're going to be kicking it straight over to them. But Shimmy, what do you got going on? I know you have done some streaming in the past, and you're a huge Landmarkian. You've been you helped me win the Ogre Community build, which was really awesome. So what have you got going on? I know you've been working on your new templates as well with the stairs and all that. Can you talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that?
The spiral stairs, yeah, they're still in early version. I think 'cause there's so much to clean up on, and I might have, I still have a lot of work on that. But I think my week is gonna be keynotes. I've been doing a lot of stuff with that. I'm really loving it, so I think it's gonna be keynotes, and I'll hopefully stream maybe 2-3 times.
Awesome. And your Twitter is at Shimmy TV. So make sure to follow Shimmy. She's doing amazing stuff, especially with that spiral staircase technique. If you haven't seen it, visit the Nanovoxel swap, and you can pick it up there. And also, you're working on a whole asset board of windows and stuff for Keynotes, which is really coming
Oh
along
yeah, but I
really
haven't
nicely.
released that.
Okay, we're not. That's hush hush though. So,
No, you
and
can always come
yeah.
check it out of my my claim, which is at Shimmy, just in the gallery, Shimmy with 2 eyes.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
and I stream every Saturday, so you can come check me out on this channel. Make sure you hit that follow button. If you want to donate, you can also donate and all that jazz. And also we have Landmark Weekly, which is an hour-long show once a week. That's this show right here after Landmark Live, where we discuss what's going on in Landmark and all that jazz. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and especially you guys out there in chat, because without you, this show would not be possible. And this is a great opportunity for you to get your voice heard in front of the devs. And oh, I forgot one thing that we mentioned on the show, which was really cool, was it was hard to read the different island names. They were difficult to read, and I noticed that they went into the UI and removed those background images. So I want to thank you guys out there for getting that in front of them, and that's cool. You know, we are making a difference. We are developing this game together. It's pretty cool. So with that said, guys, don't forget, keep up on your upkeep.